Hey there, in this video you're going to learn how to sell your product or idea so people will actually buy it. Stay tuned. Hey there, Mel Abraham from Thoughtpreneur Academy, and in this video you're going to learn how to sell your product or idea so people will actually buy it. In order to do that, there's three things that you need to have. The first is actually connect with them emotionally. To sell your product or idea, the first thing is to get them hooked emotionally. We do that by understanding what their fears, their frustrations, their aspirations, that innate, that visceral feeling that they want. Once we connect with them emotionally, they're still not going to buy until we give them a valid reason to support it logically. And in order to find out how to connect with them emotionally, one of the easiest ways to do it is actually have a conversation with them. One of the things that we do with our customers and our clients is we literally pick up the phone and ask them what's going on in their life. What are their biggest challenges? What are their biggest frustrations? And if there was one thing that we could solve for them that would move the needle for them, what would that be? The other way to do it is actually surveys, polls on Facebook, and doing some sort of feedback mechanism for those that either purchased or didn't purchase your product, so you have a dialogue with them. Once you pull out the fears and the emotions and you connect with them at an emotional level, now we need to give them the justification, the foundation logically to justify the purchase decision or the choice to work with you. And the way that's typically done is going into some sort of analysis. ROI, we talk about return on investment. The other thing is, what does it take away from them? What pains, what costs? How do we justify it economically and physically to make it make sense to make the decision? So for instance, one of the things that I've done with one of my clients is we spent the time walking through how to run their business differently, how to leverage their knowledge, their wisdom, their thought leadership in a way that they weren't spending hours and hours of time duplicating their effort, but literally do it once and deliver it often. That leads us to step number 3, which actually brings step number 1 and 2 together in one little nicely packaged graphic. And that's using a framework to sell your stuff. One of the things that you can do is build emotion and logic into the same thing. Here's how it works. The visual intake is an emotional intake. Think about when you see a puppy dog or a baby. What does that do for you? It stirs an emotion, or you see something that angers you, or you see something that makes you happy or excited. That visual intake allows you to feel something emotionally. And we can do that literally in a visual graphic, a framework, so to speak. Second is to understand that the structure of a framework is shapes, squares, circles, triangles, gives it structure and allows them to see logically, the left brain side, to logically see that it makes sense. So the way to do this is to understand, how do we place them in a framework where they see themselves emotionally and logically, and they also see themselves emotionally and logically in the same framework where they want to be. And it shows them the gap. And when you show them the gap, that really starts to pull at the emotional strings. And by virtue of you being in proximity, in other words, you're the one presenting it and highlighting the gap, where they want to be and where their current reality is, they implicitly see you as a solution. And if you don't get the framework right, or you don't use a framework at all, here's what's going to happen. You're going to experience resistance. You're going to see them push back on you because you may have connected with the emotional side, but they haven't logically justified it yet. Or you connected to the logical side, but you didn't connect with them emotionally. So there isn't the desire and that fire in the belly to say, I got to act, I got to do something. The key behind it is making sure that we connect with both. And so the framework needs to be done properly to instill the emotions, to instill the logic, and to instill the desire in them. Otherwise, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be an uphill battle to sell something to them because you're in the context of convincing versus conviction. which is exactly why we put together the framework formula. And if you want to learn exactly how the 4 elements of creating a proper framework with the emotional side, with the logical side, and everything else that comes with it, just click the link in this video to download it now. So go download it now, and I'll see you next week for another video. Hey there, in this video, show you how to sell your, let's do it again. Hey there, in this video, you're gonna, hey there, in this video, hey there, in this video, hey there, in this video, hey there, hey there, hey there, in this video, I'm gonna show you how to sell your idea.